Noteworthy, that New York Post poll, the Post is owned by the same Fox News family. Also noteworthy, and really where it counts, Fox's ratings for that debate can only be described as anemic and a total disaster. Let's bring in Beth Ailes, the wife of Roger Ailes, the man behind the Fox News brand and the man who piloted Fox News' meteoric rise. Beth, Roger had a vision for Fox News. He's gone now, and Fox News is unrecognizable compared to the Fox News Roger built and the Fox News I spent 11 years giving so much of my blood, sweat, and many, many tears. Really sacrificing so much. So they've seemed to have lost the script, and the script being, Beth, a news network that speaks to the forgotten one half of the country, conservatives who are sick and tired of being inundated with biased liberal propaganda disguised as news. Why do you think Fox is failing?
I think the network is falling apart because of a lack of leadership. Obviously, Roger was one of a kind. I was watching a video earlier today of Rush Limbaugh when he came up to the Hudson Valley for Roger being named the Good Scout. And he talked about how Roger was such a unique man with such a perspective and a love for America, who never sacrificed his principles and his values. And I think the decline of Fox can be told as a story of 3 or perhaps 4 T's. That would be Tucker, trust, talent, and of course, President Trump. Imagine if the network had not fired Tucker. Now, we could imagine that Tucker got the president to participate in a debate, or perhaps at least give an interview, maybe not at the same time. But imagine that how many people would have watched that. Imagine that Roger built the network over 20 years by earning the audience's trust. And trust is something that takes a lot of hard work. And he understood that. I believe Rupert, the major Murdoch, and Lachlan, the minor Murdoch, do not understand America the way Roger did because they weren't born here. They don't have the love of country, in my opinion, that only comes from being born here. And Roger used to say something to me really important. He'd say, the American people are very smart. And I heard President Trump say that to Tucker in the interview that took place at the same time as the debate. He said, people get it. They know what's going on. And sadly for America, we're in a very dangerous situation, and they should have Fox News to go to, but it is not the brand that it once was.
Beth, Trump, we've proven now in hindsight of Trump not going to the debate and his poll numbers going up and sitting with Tucker. Trump is bigger than Fox, and clearly Trump doesn't need Fox. Now, that was never the case when Roger was in charge. Fox was always bigger than any one candidate. Would you agree with that statement?
I would, and I would like to remind people that back in 2016, he also skipped a debate because he got into a kerfluffle with Megyn Kelly. And I remember, I would like your audience to know that watching a debate, a presidential debate with Roger, was one of the more stressful things I ever did as his wife, because he sat there not only as an audience member, but often as someone who was thinking strategy. And I remember the night in 2016 when Megyn Kelly came down on soon-to-be President Trump, and Roger just sat there in bed saying, what the hell is she doing? What the hell is she doing? He knew that someone had gotten to her, and she had kind of morphed into a character, not the Megyn Kelly that he had helped create great fame for. She had become kind of like the House of Cards character. So yes, Roger was one of a kind, and I think he would be very sad to see what's happening. But like I said, the Murdochs play favorites. They were after Ron DeSantis in the beginning, and who knows, now Glenn Youngkin.
So just for full disclosure, Megyn's a close friend of mine, and she comes on the show, a very good friend. But and I think she is kind of pro-Trump right now. But anyway, moving on. The debate.
She goes where the wind goes.
Well, the debate. I just want to talk about this Fox situation where the debate and their falling ratings. Fox's ratings are nowhere near where they were prior to Tucker leaving, certainly nowhere near where they were when Tucker was running the show. Do you think this shows that Fox has, I don't know, lost the influence in conservative circles? Maybe it's diminished, or maybe it's been erased.
Well, I think that a lot of the audience has left, and that's because there's no more Eric Bolling. There's no more Bill O'Reilly. There's no Greta. Where is everybody? They're on Newsmax. They have other places to go. And I would encourage people to read the American Spectator. And full disclosure, I'm on the board there, but there are other ways to get the news. And frankly, I think that Fox, like the other mainstream news channels, are boring. They repeat the same thing every hour. I remember when Roger stepped down and we moved to Florida, and the last time that we watched Fox News was when we moved into our new home on the ocean on Election Day. And I said, we're going to move in on Election Day, Roger, because the world is going to change one way or the other. It's either going to be Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. And we watched the return sitting in our new family room, and the phone rang, and it was soon to be President Trump. And Roger said, "Sir, I think you're going to pull this out." And he said, "Yes, I am. Thanks to you, Roger." So I just remember that being the last time I ever watched Fox News. And I want to say that the day that Roger passed away, they asked me what time I would like for the medicine to be withdrawn. And I remember thinking that at 8 o'clock in the morning, Fox News thought they had the whole day buttoned up. They'd have their 8 o'clock call. And Roger passed at 8:30. And it never occurred to me to even alert Fox News. And that, I think, tells an important story. They had to go to Matt Drudge to confirm the news.
That really is amazing. As you know, and as our audience knows, I knew and loved Roger. He brought me to Fox News from NBC and CNBC. And I remember those days when he would sit election cycles, not necessarily presidential election cycles, midterms. He would sit in that box, and there'd be hundreds of people around him. He'd sit in the middle, and he'd have the phone right there. Call this. Call the race for this. Call the race for this. And he was making the calls. Of course, he talked to the desk, but he was making the calls. I just feel that the place is rudderless now. You got Paul Ryan on the board, who's a rhino. I'm seeing so much Karl Rove. I want to throw up sometimes. It just doesn't seem. It's not the same. It was a conservative bastion when I was there, and when Roger had it, it doesn't seem that way anymore. He
had the ability to create a culture. At this Good Scout Award, Rush asked him, "How many employees do you have?" And he said, "About 1,700. And Rush said, "Imagine one man could create a culture for 1,700 people." It wasn't that they had to live by whatever Roger believed in, but there was a spiritedness and a belief in the nation and a hope for better tomorrows. And I will say that journalist Michael Wolff is coming out with a book at the end of September, I'm told, called The Demise of Fox News. While I haven't read it, and I look forward to reviewing it, I haven't spoken with him about it. And he was very good to Roger through the years. He admired him greatly, although I would say he was more liberal. The one thing I want your audience to know is that when Michael Wolff, I'm told, when he wrote the book on Rupert Murdoch, the man who owns the news, the one condition that he had to abide by was that Roger Ailes was never to be mentioned.
Wow. That speaks volumes, Beth.
To be continued.
To be continued, my friend. Beth Ailes, thank you. Best to Zachary and everyone else. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.